Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Monday English Podcast. My name is Tom.
And I'm Lena. It's great to be with you today.
We are so happy you chose to join us. Here at the Monday English Podcast, our goal is very simple: to help you learn English in a fun, easy, and supportive way. We are here for you every Monday.
That's right, Tom. We make our episodes for English learners, just like you. We speak slowly and clearly, and we use simple words. We want to make learning English a happy part of your week.
Exactly. And today, we have a very important topic. It's a problem many English learners have. The topic is listening a lot but understanding little? Let's find out why.
Oh, that's a big one. I think almost every learner feels this way sometimes. You listen to a movie, a song, or a conversation in English, and you try so hard, but you only catch a few words. It can feel very frustrating.
It really can. But please do not worry. This is a normal part of learning a new language. You are not alone. And the good news is, you can fix it.
Yes. In this episode, we are going to talk about the main reasons why you might not understand spoken English, even if you listen a lot. And more importantly, we will give you some simple, practical tips to help you improve your listening skills.
So, get comfortable, maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's begin. Make sure you listen all the way to the end, because we will summarize everything and give you a clear plan. Let's start with the first and maybe the biggest mistake learners make.
Okay, so let's talk about the number one problem. Tom, I think you know what I'm talking about. It's that feeling, that panic, when you try to understand every single word.
Exactly, Lena. This is the every word trap. So many learners think they must understand 100% of the words to understand the meaning. But this is not true, and trying to do this is what causes the problem.
Can you explain that a little more? Why is it a problem?
Well, imagine you were listening to someone speak. You are following along, and then you hear a word you don't know. What happens? Your brain stops. It gets stuck on that one word. You start thinking, what does that word mean? I don't know it. Oh, no.
And while your brain is stuck on that one word, the speaker has continued talking. They have said 5, 6, maybe 10 more words. So now you have missed the entire sentence. You are completely lost.
Precisely. It's a chain reaction. You miss one word, you panic, and then you miss everything else. The key is to change your goal. Your goal is not to understand every single word. Your goal is to understand the main idea.
The main idea. That's the most important thing. Let's give our listeners an example. Tom, can you say a simple sentence for us?
Sure. Listen to this sentence, everyone. Yesterday afternoon, I went to the big, new supermarket on Green Street to buy some fresh apples, milk, and a loaf of bread for my breakfast.
Okay, that was a long sentence. There were a lot of words. But what is the main idea? What are the most important words in that sentence?
Let's think about it. The important words are probably I went, supermarket, buy, and then apples, milk, bread.
Right. If you understand just those words, I went, supermarket, buy apples, milk, bread, you understand the main story. You know who, where, what, and why.
You don't need to understand yesterday afternoon, big, new, or on Green Street to get the basic meaning. Those are details. They are nice to know, but they are not essential.
So the first tip is relax. Don't panic when you hear a word you don't know. Just let it go. Keep listening and try to catch the next words. Focus on the keywords, usually the nouns like supermarket or apples, and the verbs like went or buy.
Let's try another one. I'll say a sentence, and Lena, you tell me the main idea. Ready? My friend Sarah is planning a wonderful vacation to a sunny beach in Florida next month because she needs a long rest.
Okay, I heard friend Sarah, vacation, beach, and next month. The main idea is that your friend Sarah is going on a beach vacation next month.
Perfect. You didn't need wonderful, sunny, or because she needs a long rest. You got the main point. This is the skill you need to practice. It's called listening for gist, or listening for the main idea.
It feels much less stressful when you think about it that way. You're not failing if you miss a word. You are succeeding if you get the general meaning.
Exactly. So that's mistake number 1. But this leads to our next point. What happens if you don't even know the keywords like supermarket or vacation?
That's a good question. That brings us to our second big reason why listening is hard.
And that second reason is vocabulary. It sounds simple, but you can't understand a word you don't know. If your vocabulary is too small, even listening for the main idea will be very difficult.
That's true. It's like trying to build a house with only a few bricks. You need more bricks to build a strong house. In English, words are your bricks.
A great way to think about it. So, how can our listeners build their vocabulary foundation in a smart way? It can feel overwhelming. There are so many words in English.
There are. The secret is not to learn random words. You need to learn words that are useful and relevant to your life.
What do you mean by relevant?
Well, think about your daily life and your hobbies. What do you do every day? What do you like to talk about? If you love to cook, you should learn words like kitchen, oven, recipe, chop, fry, and delicious.
Right. If you work in an office, you should learn words like computer, meeting, email, report, and deadline. It's much better to learn these words than to learn a word like astronaut if you're not interested in space.
Exactly. Learn the words you will actually use and hear. This makes learning more interesting and much more effective.
So, what's a good method for learning new words?
I love the 5 words a day method. It's very simple. Every single day, choose 5 new words to learn. Not 20, not 50, just 5.
Only 5. That sounds very manageable.
It is, and that's why it works. You won't feel overwhelmed. So you choose your 5 words. For each word, you should do 3 things. First, write the word down in a special notebook.
A vocabulary notebook. I like that. What's the second thing?
Second, find the meaning in English. Try to use a simple learner's dictionary, not just a translation. And find out what kind of word it is. A verb, a noun, an adjective.
Okay. And the third thing?
The third thing is the most important. You must write your own example sentence using the new word. This is how you really learn it. For example, if your new word is busy, don't just write busy. Write a sentence like, I cannot talk now. I am very busy at work.
That's a fantastic tip, because when you create your own sentence, your brain remembers the word in a context. It has a real meaning for you.
Yes, and at the end of the week, you have learned 35 new words. That's amazing progress. And you should review your notebook regularly. Maybe every Sunday, read all the words and sentences you learned that week.
So, to summarize part 2, build your vocabulary with relevant words, use the 5 words a day method, write the word, find its meaning, and create your own example sentence.
Perfect. Now let's move to a trickier problem. This is something that confuses almost every learner. It's when you know the word, you have it in your vocabulary notebook, but when a native speaker says it, you don't recognize it. Why does this happen, Tom?
You are talking about the secret world of spoken English. This brings us to part 3. Okay, this next part is so important. We call it connected speech. It sounds a bit technical, but the idea is simple. In English, we don't say each word separately. Like this, you see? It sounds like a robot.
Right. It's not natural. In natural spoken English, the words flow together. They link. They connect. And sometimes sounds change or even disappear. This is why English can sound so fast and confusing.
Let's break it down with some easy examples. The first part of connected speech is called linking. This is when a word that ends with a consonant sound is followed by a word that starts with a vowel sound. The sounds link together.
For example, the two words an and apple. A learner might read them as an apple. Two separate words, but a native speaker says an apple. It sounds like one word.
Exactly. The N sound from an links to the A sound in apple, an apple. Let's try another one. Turn it off. We don't say turn it off. We say turn it off.
Turn it off. It flows together. Or I'm in a hurry. It becomes I'm in a hurry.
This linking happens all the time. It's one of the main reasons English sounds fast. So, that's linking. But there's another even more confusing part of connected speech.
And what is that?
It's when sounds get reduced or even disappear. This happens with small, common words. Let's take the most famous example. What are you doing?
Ah, yes. No native speaker says, "What are you doing?" unless they are very angry or speaking to a small child.
Correct. So what do we say? We say something like, what you doing?
What you doing? It sounds completely different.
It does. Let's break it down slowly. What are gets squeezed together to sound like whatcha. What are, whatcha, whatcha. Can you hear that?
Yes, I can. Whatcha.
And you often becomes a soft ya sound. So what are you becomes whatcha, or even faster, whatcha.
Whatcha. And the end of doing, the G sound, is often dropped, so it's doin'.
Exactly. So what are you doing becomes what you doing. It's shorter, faster, and much more natural. This happens with so many common phrases.
Let's give our listeners some more common examples so they can start to recognize them. What about going to?
A classic one. Going to almost always becomes gonna. I am going to watch a movie. A native speaker will say, I'm going to watch a movie.
I'm gonna watch a movie. Much faster. Another one is want to.
Right? Want to becomes wanna. Do you want to get a coffee becomes do you want to get a coffee?
Do you want to get a coffee? Another one I hear a lot is give me.
Yes. Give me often becomes gimme. Can you give me the book becomes can you give me the book?
Give me the book. Okay, let's do a few more quick ones. What about did you? Like in did you see it?
Did you often sounds like did you. Did you see it?
Did you see it? Wow. And could you?
Could you becomes could ya. Could you help me?
Could you help me? And I don't know.
That often gets shortened to I don't know. The T sound disappears. I don't know.
I don't know. This is so important because a learner might know the words did and you perfectly, but if they are listening for did you, they will never understand did you.
That is the whole point. You are not listening for the words as they are written. You have to learn to listen for the words as they are spoken. The solution is to become aware of this. When you learn a new phrase like going to, learn gonna at the same time.
So when you're watching a movie or listening to a podcast, pay special attention to these little connections. Try to hear wanna and gonna and whatcha. When you start to recognize them, it's like you've unlocked a secret code.
It really is. You'll start to understand so much more. This is a huge step. But of course, connected speech makes things sound fast. So how can we deal with the overall speed of native speakers?
That's a great question, and it leads us perfectly into our fourth section.
Okay, so we've talked about connected speech, and we know it makes English sound fast. So the problem is speed. Many learners try to jump into listening to very fast English, and they get discouraged.
Yes, this is a very common mistake. It's like a new runner trying to run a full marathon on their first day. It's too much, too soon. You need to start slow and build up your strength.
So what's the solution? The solution is to choose the right listening material for your level. You are A1 or A2 level. You should not be starting with a fast-paced action movie or a complex news report on CNN or the BBC.
Definitely not. The language is too complex and the speed is way too fast. So what are some good materials for beginners?
Well, first of all, podcasts made for English learners, like this one. We speak slowly and clearly on purpose to help you understand. There are many great podcasts out there for A1 and A2 learners.
That's a great suggestion. What else?
Children's cartoons are fantastic. Shows like Peppa Pig or Bluey. The stories are simple, the vocabulary is basic, and the characters speak very clearly and at a good pace.
I love that idea. No one should feel embarrassed to watch cartoons. They are an amazing learning tool. The pictures also help you understand what is happening.
Another great resource is graded readers. These are books that are written for different English levels, and many of these books come with an audio CD or an MP3 file, so you can read and listen at the same time. The narrator usually reads very slowly and clearly.
Okay, so the first step is to choose the right material. What's the next step? How can we practice with this material?
There are a few great techniques. The first is to use technology to help you. On YouTube or in many podcast players, there is a playback speed setting. You can slow the audio down.
Oh, that's a brilliant feature. So if a video is a little too fast, you can change the speed from normal to 0.75x. It will be 25% slower. This can make a huge difference.
It really can. It gives your brain more time to process the sounds. So find a short video, maybe 2 or 3 minutes long, and listen to it at 0.75x speed.
Great tip. What's another technique we can use?
Another very powerful technique is called shadowing.
Shadowing, like a shadow that follows you?
Exactly. The idea is that you follow the speaker like a shadow. Here's how you do it. You listen to one short sentence. Then you pause the audio. Then you try to repeat the sentence exactly as you heard it.
So you're not just repeating the words, you're trying to copy the pronunciation, the rhythm, the intonation, everything.
Yes, you are trying to sound exactly like the speaker. Let's try it. I will say a simple sentence. Listeners, after I say it, you can pause the podcast and try to repeat it. Ready? The sentence is, "I'd like a cup of tea, please."
Okay, so our listener should have tried to say, "I'd like a cup of tea, please," copying your voice.
Exactly. Shadowing does two things. It trains your mouth to make the right sounds, which improves your speaking, and it trains your ear to notice the details of connected speech and intonation, which dramatically improves your listening.
That sounds like a super effective exercise. So to recap this part, choose easy materials like learner podcasts or cartoons, use the 0.75x speed setting, and practice the shadowing technique.
Perfect. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. It's not just what you listen to, it's how you listen.
You're right. That brings us to our final point before our summary. Okay, our final point is about the difference between active listening and passive listening. Many learners think that if they just have English on in the background all day, they will magically learn it.
Right. They put on an English radio station while they are cleaning the house or play an English movie while they are cooking dinner. This is called passive listening. You're hearing the English, but you're not really listening to it. Your focus is on something else.
And does passive listening work?
A little bit. It can help you get used to the rhythm and sound of the language, but it is not a very efficient way to learn. It is not enough. To really improve,
you need to do active listening.
So what is active listening?
Active listening is when you give 100% of your attention to the audio. You are not doing anything else. You're not cooking, you're not checking your phone. You are just sitting, listening, and thinking about the English you are hearing.
It sounds like it takes more effort.
It does. It takes much more effort, but it is 100 times more effective. 20 minutes of active listening is better than 3 hours of passive listening.
So how do we do active listening? Can you give us a step-by-step guide?
Of course. Let's imagine you have chosen a short audio or video clip, maybe 2 minutes long. Here is the active listening process.
Step 1.
Step 1. Just listen. Listen to the whole 2-minute clip one time. Don't stop. Don't worry about words you don't know. Just try to understand the main idea. What is it about?
Okay, so that's like what we talked about in part 1, listening for the main idea.
Exactly. Now, step 2. Listen again. This time, you can pause when you need to. Try to catch more details. What are the key words? Who is speaking? Where are they? Write down any important words you hear.
Okay, so the second listen is for more detail. What's step 3?
Step 3, listen with a transcript. A transcript is the written text of the audio. Most good learning materials have a transcript. This time, you read the text while you listen to the audio.
Ah, this is so helpful because now you can see the words that you didn't understand before. You can connect the written word to the spoken sound.
Yes, this is where you will see did you and hear did you. You will see going to and hear gonna. This is where you make those important connections. As you listen and read, you should highlight any new words or phrases you want to learn.
And what's the final step?
Step 4. After you finish, take those new words you highlighted and look them up. Add them to your vocabulary notebook with your own example sentence.
Wow, that is a complete workout for your ears and your brain. Listen for the main idea, listen for details, listen with the transcript, and finally, learn the new vocabulary.
It is a workout, but just like going to the gym, if you do this workout regularly, your listening muscles will get so much stronger, so much faster.
That's a wonderful way to put it. So that's our final tip. Focus on active listening, not just passive listening. It will make all the difference.
I think we've covered a lot today, Lena. It's probably a good time to bring it all together in a final summary.
Yes, that was a lot of information, but hopefully very helpful information for everyone listening. Let's do a quick and simple recap of the main points we discussed today.
Great idea. So, the topic was, why can't I understand spoken English? The first and biggest reason is trying to understand every single word. The solution? Relax and listen for the main idea.
The second reason is not having enough vocabulary. The solution is to build your vocabulary foundation by learning 5 relevant new words every day. And remember to write your own example sentences.
The third and very tricky reason was connected speech. That's how words link together and change sound, like want to becoming wanna. The solution is to become aware of this and start listening for these connected sounds.
The fourth reason was listening to material that is too fast or too difficult. The solution here is to choose materials for your level, like this podcast or children's cartoons. And you can use tools like the 0.75x speed setting and the shadowing technique.
And the fifth and final reason was doing too much passive listening. The solution is to practice focused, active listening. Remember the 4 steps. Listen for the main idea, listen for details, listen with a transcript, and then learn the new vocabulary.
That's a perfect summary, Tom. The most important thing for all our listeners to remember is that this is a process. Improving your listening skills takes time and patience. It will not happen overnight.
That is so true. Be kind to yourself. Every time you practice, you are getting a little bit better, even if you don't feel it. Celebrate small victories. Today, you understood one more word than yesterday. That is success.
It really is. We hope this episode has given you a clear understanding of the problem and a clear plan to help you improve.
If you found this episode helpful, we would be so grateful if you would subscribe to our channel, Monday English Podcast, wherever you are listening. That way, you will never miss an episode.
And please, feel free to leave us a comment or a review. You can tell us what you thought of this episode, or you can suggest a topic for a future episode. We read all your comments, and we love hearing from our community of learners.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for spending some of your Monday with us.
Keep practicing, stay positive, and happy learning. Goodbye for now.